Now look what I've got here. I've spoilt myself this time and got myself a brand new French easel. Ta-da! Now let's get this thing unboxed. This should be nice and simple. Amazon gave me the choice of not getting it in a separate box, so this is how it came in the post, and thankfully with no damage at all. But as usual, these things will be packed in nice and tight so they don't move, so this is going to be fun getting this out. I've been really looking forward to this. I've been saving up to get one so that I can actually do a lot more painting rather than sketches outside. I want to do loads of sketches, but I do want to do some proper plein air, and my other easel's just not really great fun. So take a look at that. It's beautiful, isn't it? This one is the beechwood one rather than, well, they're all of Meeden's ones are beechwood. Some of them are just stained or painted. And this one is just as is, but actually I think the natural finish on this is really beautiful, and the struggle of getting it out of this box is real. It does not want to come out of this box, and I don't want to tip it upside down, so yeah, and yay, free, finally got that off. Oh, dump that there. Right, let's tidy up. Now let's get rid of the polystyrene. There's one, and here's the other. You can see better the shape and colour of it now. It's not very heavy. It looks heavier than it probably feels. Right, flip this over. And underneath here is a box of bits. Don't know what that is. We'll find out soon. And in the main box should be any information or instructions. So we've had to flip it over so it's butt facing down, top facing up, and the bits and pieces are in here, so they're inside the box, and there we go. So we have got a beechwood palette, which is really nice, but I don't paint like that, so not very useful for me, but we'll see. A strap, because it's got two clippy hook things, which you can put it on a strap and take it. The important instruction manual, need that. And then we've got two types of silicone, just to keep the inside of the wood dry while in transit. Get rid of those. Right, let's put this back down and get on. What's next in the instruction book? Flick through this. There's not many pages in this book, to be honest with you, but it is in English. It's got a few other languages as well. I think it's got French, German, Chinese or Japanese, but it's not much, and most of it's pictures like this. As you can see, we've got it in sort of in position 1 at the moment, although it's the other way up. Right, let's close that, and then we will get on. So we need to flip this over. I think this is always going to be a bit faffy at first, the first time I ever do this. Right, so now this is the butt end of it, so the bit that faces the ground, now facing up, so you can see all the legs. The 3 legs are there, and the instructions are telling me we need to put the legs out before we turn it over, so that makes sense. So the legs have got little wing nuts, as you can see, and you just lift the leg up and then tighten it. The bottom part of the leg has got a slight slope, so as you tighten it, it will pull the leg into the shape. You can see it there as like a weird triangle gap. As I tighten it, that gap will diminish, and the leg will be on a canted angle to the body. So the leg will be diagonally out, so it gives you your kind of triangular tripod style legs like that. That's nice, isn't it? Yep, like that, on a diagonal out. Now that just leaves the middle one, which is a bit more faffy. So you've got this little bit here. It's not very clear in the picture, but that needs to sit like that. which honestly at this point in time doesn't really matter because it's a stabilizer and it won't really matter until we've turned it back the other way. But for the sake of following the instructions, this is what we've done. You can see how loose it is, but once the leg is under tension, then that will tighten. So that's the main leg part there. At this point, I couldn't work out what on earth was going on here. So I thought, do you know what? I'm going to bring you out a wee bit. Let's get it higher. That's a bit better so you guys can see it a bit more. Perfect. Yeah, so that's kind of where we're going. So we've got the main bits sticking up, so now we just need to extend the retractable legs. So there's the first one. That one swings up. Yeah, the actual retractable leg section is a little loose. So the legs are in 3 sections. So the main body section, I'm not quite far enough away. Is that better? Yeah. Right. So that bit swings up. So that's the midsection part of the leg. And then you tighten that wing nut and that just keeps that in place. And then that sliding bit, there we go, is the final part of the leg with the rubber tip, which gives it more stability on the ground. So that's good. And now we'll do the same with the other one. These don't swing out like the middle one. These just slide up in 2 sections. So you've got your main body section, your mid section, and then your little leg section. And yes, they are held down, in position down with wing nut. There we go. I'm a tree. I suppose it's wood, isn't it? So it would be. Right, now what do we do with this next? Right. Oh, we flip it over. That's fine. Corner bent in the page. That didn't take me long. But yeah. So yeah, we need to flip it over in order to raise the actual board section, which then holds your canvas in place. So let's tip this over. Oops, hit the light. Knew I was going to do that. These things are quite long. This looks really awkward. Honestly, this thing has no weight at all. It's just because the legs are diagonally hanging out, and with my eyesight, I can't see how close to the wall I am. So I was trying to be a bit careful with it and not hit it at the same time. But yes, it's stable. It's pretty good. Right, on to the next bit. And that is setting up the easel, well, setting up the actual main body of the easel and where the canvas would be. So close up, because I want you to be a bit closer. This bit was loose, and I think it was just because the screws was a little bit loose when it arrived. So I've tightened this slightly as I was moving it around, just so that I could get it into a bit more secure before doing the next step. As you can see, it's moving a fair bit, which I didn't want. So right, so now we're going to lift the main section, undo the 2 lift up clips like a suitcase clip at the back, and then lift. It's got 2 support struts on either side that are diagonally down to the main board of the box, and that's the 2 wing nuts that you can see I'm just tightening there, and then that holds this board in place, and you can angle that to wherever you want. Obviously this section here slides up and down to give you height for where you want to, how high you need it to be able to support your canvas. So it goes quite high. I know you can't see it because I'm off the camera, but it does actually do quite a decent size. Obviously you're not going to want to be doing big stuff. This is this little tray. Now I know it was in the description, it came with this metal tray, so I'm guessing it's in this box. There we go. Indeed, 1 metal tray and 2 weird metal brackets. So we'll check the instructions and see where that goes. Right, so that's the end of the metal bracket. So it's got a little L plate and this wing nut, and you need to loosen the wing nut in order to loosen the L plate, and then the inner bit, so that bit there, will then hook into hook over the wood between the main outer shell of the box and the drawer, hopefully, or at least that's kind of what it's indicating, so that in there. So I'm going to take this forward. So yeah, drawer comes in out, right. This was a bit complicated. Remember, there's no word instructions in this. It's all just pictures, right? So there's the gap on the plate, and the back plate with the wing nut should slide into that gap between the drawer and the shell. So just in that gap there. And then we have a second one. Now what I forgot is when this plate's in, there's a little metal nubbin and it on either side of the drawer, and that runs in the kind of groove that you can see in the sides of the actual main body. And once you've put these clips in place, that little metal nubbin on either side can't go past it because it's inset into the groove. So I didn't realise this at the time. Now I put these on with the drawer pulled out, which was fine until I went to push the drawer back in and realised it couldn't get past the first metal bracket. So after much fiddling with it, I did find that if I put that bracket on afterwards, then I can bring the drawer out as far as wherever I put that final bracket. So the bracket closest to the front of the easel, because the nubbin would be sitting on the other side of it. So I could pull pretty much up to half of the drawer out if I wanted to do that. So just to bear in mind that if you're going to use this tray thing, fit it either after the drawer is pulled all the way out or with the drawer halfway out, knowing that you're not going to get the full amount. Now, as you saw there, this thing's got a cover on. It's aluminium and very shiny, so I suspect it's going to be quite slippery, but it has all these grooves for holding paintbrushes, which is really nice, and also for if you want to hang stuff, which is also nice. I fitted this to the left-hand side of my easel because I always put my supplies on the left, and it's only really got the grooves on one direction, so it doesn't really work, which means I have to turn it away from me. The picture shows it facing the other way. Also, there is a sponge section on the bottom of this tray, and that fits between the two metal arm plates that come out, and that just keeps it secure. Right, so just give you a better view of what's going on here. So that's the plates. These wing nuts, if you want the drawer to be able to slide in and out as far as it can do, the wing nuts need to be pointing horizontally, so they run sideways and in line with the wood and the drawer. Otherwise, if you turn them and they're going vertical, the bottom bit of the wing nut is sticking down and out, and therefore the drawer can't get past the wing nut, which, yeah, I kind of looked at it and went, oh yeah, that's not going to happen. So as you can see, nope. And also at that point, the nubbin's catching on that as well. So you can see, I feel like the tray was maybe an afterthought. And like I said, there is some workarounds for it, just maybe not quite what you were hoping for. So it's definitely not made for people who like to work from left to right. Oh, oops. Bounced it out. Knew I would. Right, so I've got the nubbin past the first bracket, so it will now slide in and out between the brackets, but only as far as that first bracket there. So that's me just fitting that in where the foam, and the foam sits in between the two, so it holds it steady, and then that's the drawer. So yes, I can get the drawer halfway out now, but not all the way, I think, to there. It is very irritating. I looked at that and thought, is there another way I could do this? But no, there's no way that the nubbin will get around that bracket without breaking it. Now, in theory, and this is a theory, I could take the drawer out and remove the nubbin on that side completely, and that would make it work, but it would mean that the drawer could twist slightly. So you know, I don't want to deface it. It's brand new. So I probably won't use the side tray. I'll probably just pull the tray open as far as I need it with access to pastels and just hang my water bucket on the side. So folks, here it is. Ignore the painting. You'll get to see that in another video. So there it is, my new Meeden French Easel. The wood is gorgeous. This is just the beech one. It was on offer, so I got it quite heavily discounted. You can see we have a tray, the main frame, as I come round, you can see how it is. So yeah, I think this is going to work really well for some of my outdoor stuff, and can't wait to take you guys outdoors so you can see me work.